There's a strange chill in the air ahead of WrestleMania. 41 Night 2. Not the kind that comes from a breeze in the stadium, but something intangible. Something that crawls up the spine and settles between the shoulders of the WWE Universe. Cody Rhodes walks into the main event carrying not only the hopes of finishing a story 2 years in the making, but now the burden of standing opposite a version of John Cena that the world hasn't seen in almost 2 decades. The once hero has turned venomous. The chain is back around his neck. The hustle, loyalty, and respect have decayed into manipulation, scorn, and control. Heel John Cena isn't the nostalgia act, or the veteran putting over the future anymore. He's the storm that might just wash everything away. What makes this match so unpredictable isn't just the characters, it's the context. Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber shocked fans to their core. But the timing wasn't random, it was calculated. This isn't an angry outburst, it's a fully realized transformation. Cena isn't here to give Cody a rub. He's here to steal the spotlight, rewrite history, and prove that the face of WWE never truly changed. In his mind, he was never replaced. Roman Reigns was never worthy. Cody Rhodes is a fabrication of fan desperation, not a generational superstar. Cena's return wasn't about legacy, it was about dominance. Cody's arc feels like the perfect WWE story. Legacy, heartbreak, redemption, but in the process of chasing that story, he's become vulnerable to its own mythology. Cena sees that. He sees the weight of Dusty Rhodes. He sees the need for validation, and he sees a target. Cody is not the same man that went toe-to-toe with Roman last year. He's been carrying a narrative on his shoulders ever since, one laced with expectation, with prophecy. Cena doesn't believe in fairy tales. He believes in survival. And the old John Cena, the one who shook hands and kissed babies, wouldn't have stood a chance in tonight's match. But this Cena, the one who weaponizes the truth, who insults with surgical cruelty, who blindsides with steel, he's not here to put on a 5-star classic. He's here to take everything. There's a unique cruelty in Cena's new perspective. When he looks at Cody, he sees someone who tried to circumvent the grind, someone who left, failed elsewhere, and came back as a savior. And Cena has been weaponizing that perception in every promo leading up to this match. His insults aren't just for show, they're psychological warfare. Cody's entire identity is under attack. When Cena called Dusty overrated, it wasn't for heat, it was to unmake Cody. When he said Cody was cosplaying greatness, it wasn't a jab. It was a dismantling. And the terrifying thing is that a large part of the crowd believes him. Cena has always thrived off energy. As a babyface, he fed off love or hate. It didn't matter, as long as it was loud. But now he doesn't need approval. He needs silence. He wants to shut people up. And the scariest part is that he's figured out how to do it. This isn't a reluctant villain. This is a man who's finally stopped pretending. And for the first time, Cena feels dangerous in a way that goes beyond physicality. He's a psychological predator now, a veteran with scars he's using as weapons, and he's aiming them all at the American nightmare. There's a lot of talk about legacy tonight. Cody wants to fulfill Dusty's. Cena wants to erase the one the fans handed out to others. This match isn't about titles, even though the WWE Championship is on the line. It's about erasure and permanence. Cena wants to prove that the modern era is hollow, that these new stars are built on marketing, not merit. And if he beats Cody in the main event of the biggest WrestleMania ever, he's essentially closing the book on WWE's current narrative. That's why the stakes are so high. Don't expect a clean match. Cena's been sending a message with his actions since Elimination Chamber, and walked away without a word. He's been silent ever since, letting his presence do the talking. He hasn't participated in any physical altercations leading into Night 2. That silence isn't because he's unprepared. It's because he knows the moment he walks down that ramp, all eyes will be on him, and he plans to weaponize that moment. The lights, the crowd, the aura. He's going to make Cody feel small in a sea of history. Cody's been chasing destiny, but the problem with destiny is that it can be disrupted by chaos. Cena has inserted chaos into a story that was once so cleanly mapped out. That unpredictability is exactly what gives Cena the edge. Cody's training for a championship bout. Cena's training for a psychological execution. And when you come in thinking you're closing a story, only to realize someone else started a brand new one in your final chapter, that can break a man. There's a surrealism to this version of Cena. It's not just the gear or the scowl, it's the eyes. The same eyes that used to beam with determination and grit now burn with bitterness. He doesn't walk with purpose. He stalks. He isn't seeking approval. He's collecting debts. And Cody owes him something, even if Cody doesn't know it. Cena feels like the company owes him closure on his terms. He doesn't want to thank you. He wants submission. He wants every fan that chanted Cena sucks for 15 years to know they were right, and that he became that man willingly. This match is going to be slow, methodical, psychological. Cena's going to use every ounce of his experience to slow the pace, to frustrate Cody, to provoke mistakes. And if Cody gets too emotional, which he will, Cena will pounce. Expect manipulation, expect ref distractions, expect low blows hidden in plain sight. Cena isn't wrestling fair, and he's not going to apologize for it. He's going to tear Cody down until he's a pile of broken symbolism in the center of the ring, surrounded by fans unsure if they ever really knew John Cena. The fans will be split, but confused. This isn't Roman Reigns' tribal domination or The Rock's Hollywood ego. This is different, more cerebral, more personal. Cena doesn't want acknowledgement. He wants to redefine the concept of a final boss, and not by making Cody look good in defeat, but by making sure Cody doesn't get back up. Not just tonight, but ever. This isn't a career-making loss. This is meant to be a career-ruining defeat. There are rumors swirling that this might be Cena's last WrestleMania. If that's true, it makes this heel turn even more potent, because what better way to go out than by poisoning the well? If Cena walks away after burying Cody Rhodes, he leaves WWE in an existential crisis. The top babyface dethroned, the legacy act turned bitter icon, the story unfinished, again. And maybe that's the point. Cena never wanted Cody to finish his story. He wanted him to realize that not every story ends the way you want it to. Sometimes the villain wins. Sometimes the dream dies at the hands of reality. This Cena is poetic in his brutality. He's the embodiment of every veteran who felt discarded by a company chasing fresh faces. He's the ghost of ruthless aggression, haunting the sanitized PG era. He's the memory fans tried to bury under nostalgia, but who now refuses to be ignored. And that's what makes this match terrifying. It's a reckoning for the audience, for Cody, for WWE itself. Cody might have more athleticism right now. He might have more stamina, but Cena's advantage is strategy. He doesn't need to hit 5 moves of doom. He just needs one at the right time. Maybe it's a chair shot when the ref's down. Maybe it's brass knuckles hidden under the ring. Maybe it's an attitude adjustment through the announce table when the crowd is still singing Cody's theme. Cena will strike not when Cody's weakest, but when he's proudest. And that's how he wins. Even the locker room is reportedly divided. Some see Cody as the future. Others, perhaps silently, root for Cena's return to dominance. That speaks volumes. Cena's presence is intoxicating, even in this new dark form. He commands respect even while spitting on everything he once stood for. And if he wins tonight, he becomes something even more dangerous than a heel champion. He becomes undeniable. Cody's only chance is to abandon the fairy tale, to stop chasing the ghost of Dusty, stop wrestling for the fans, and start fighting for survival. But the problem is, that's not in his DNA. Cody wants the story. He wants the image, the confetti, the moment. Cena is betting everything on that truth. He's betting that Cody's obsession with legacy will be his downfall, that he'll hesitate when it matters most, that he'll wait for his WrestleMania moment while Cena's creating one of his own, by crushing him. Cena's promo silence this week isn't cowardice. It's a calculated maneuver. He doesn't need to speak. The boos will be loud enough. He's already implanted enough doubt in Cody's head. Now he just needs to finish the job. The Cena that shows up tonight might not even take off his hat before the bell rings. He might not smile once. He might just walk in, decimate Cody, and walk out without a single celebration. No pyro, no posing, just destruction. And what happens after that? If Cena wins, what becomes of WWE? Who dares step up next? What happens to the American nightmare when he wakes up to a reality where John Cena is the champion again, but now the devil in the disguise of the brand's past glory? That's the chaos Cena is playing with. That's the edge he has. Cody's fighting for a chapter. Cena's writing a whole new book. And when that bell rings, when the lights dim and the camera cuts to that final shot, don't be surprised if it's not Cody holding the title in tears. Don't be surprised if it's Cena, blood on his knuckles, smirking under the spotlight, standing over a broken story that never got its ending. Because tonight isn't about fairy tales. It's about control. And John Cena, for the first time in his career, is done letting someone else tell him what his role is. He's here to play God, and gods don't lose. Every step that Cody Rhodes takes down that long aisle tonight will feel heavier than the last. Not just because it's WrestleMania, not because the WWE Championship is on the line, but because every fan in that stadium will be holding their breath, unsure if they're about to witness the culmination of a journey or the beginning of a psychological unraveling. There's no guarantee that this night ends with cheers. There's no promise that Cody gets his crowning moment. And there's certainly no illusion anymore that John Cena is coming to pass the torch. That torch has been extinguished. What remains is a darker purpose, one rooted not in competition, but in retribution. Cena hasn't just changed, he's inverted. The frightening part is how calculated it all feels. Cena didn't snap overnight. He's not acting out of impulse. Since his heel turn, every motion, every smirk, every absence from television has been a strategic decision to create anticipation, to manipulate emotion, and to frame this match as the moment where everything Cody believed in gets exposed. Cena's silence hasn't weakened his presence, it's amplified it. Fans have been filling in the blanks, speculating endlessly, allowing Cena's absence to morph into myth. And when myths reappear, they tend to reshape the world around them. That's what Cena is counting on. That his aura is so powerful, even Cody's momentum can't push through it. There's something almost tragic about Cody's role in this. He's been so laser-focused on finishing the story that he might not realize how drastically the narrative has shifted. This isn't Roman Reigns anymore. This isn't the bloodline. Cena's not playing games with interference or tribal loyalty. He's not hiding behind anyone. This is raw, direct confrontation, and Cody might be too entrenched in the script he's imagined to adjust when everything falls apart. He's been preparing to overcome a dynasty, not to battle a ghost from a past era hell-bent on rewriting the present. What Cena understands better than anyone is the psychology of doubt. He's lived it. Booed in arenas for over a decade despite doing everything the right way. He knows what it means to feel betrayed by the fans who once raised him up. He understands the hollowness of empty chants. And he knows how fragile a fan base can be when its hero stumbles.